Hey, you guys, it's Preem. I know that we always, in this BWE and divested space, we always talking about divest or die. And here I am with my own personal divest or die reasoning and why it is essential that black women become sovereign. To me, being sovereign and divesting is equivalent because divesting to me is not only about males. Divesting is about black women being in a space that is safe and denying everything that is not safe. That includes, of course, black males, because black males are unsafe for black women. But not only that, black families, the black community is all just harmful to black women. So when I'm talking about divesting, I'm talking about divesting from everything that's going to harm black women. And let me tell you why I think that black women who do not divest and who are not sovereign and who do not get away from the black community will ultimately die. Literally, like, like it's a death that is a living death that black women and Blackistan live. But I think moving forward, you're going to be seeing black women physically, transitioning up out of this realm because they stay in Blackistan and they stay in a black community. And the reason for this is because when women are alone, like sovereign women who are choosing to be alone, because I know that as you begin to divest, hopefully you are not just jumping right into dating, because it's a whole lot of healing that needs to go on. And at that time, you need a little bit of time alone, just a moment to really just heal, to really just start seeing things for what they are, when you don't have the blinders of Blackistan on and you're able to see the world as it is outside of Blackistan. When you're doing that, you're becoming sovereign. You're becoming a sovereign woman. And women alone, if it's a woman alone, she's able to become an alchemist, right? She's able to combine the masculine in her and the feminine to enjoy a life worth living. But the thing is that she has to be alone in order for this alchemy, this magic to happen. It does not happen if males, or if the masculine, in my opinion, males on earth are representing the masculine, women on earth are representing the feminine. We can't go all into, gender roles and all that. No, we're not going to go into that. Like, we're not even gonna go there. If you're a woman on planet Earth, you're representing the feminine. Whether you be lesbian, whether you be quote unquote masculine projecting woman, you're representing the feminine principle on planet Earth, regardless. If you're a woman, if you're a male, you're representing the masculine principle on Earth. And for women, and you know this because even gay males or feminine projecting men, when they are around women, if they worth a damn, and if they worth their weight in shit, they usually become the masculine principle when they're around women. I used to have several gay friends back when I was younger, and when they were around me, they had to act like the masculine part. They had to do the work around me. So one of my maybe as I began to grow, this friendship ended. But I had a really good friend who was a gay male, a gay black male, and if we went out somewhere, I was not taking my pocketbook out. He knew I did not. He knew I never had no money. And he used to know it. Like, he used to know that if me and him went out, he had to pay. If me and him went out somewhere, like at this time I was not driving, so he was driving me around where I had to go. If I went to the market, he would take me to the market. He would carry all my bags in. He acted as the masculine part when he was with me. And that's how males are supposed to act around women, whether they fuck men or not. They supposed to still be the masculine principle if you're around a woman, and that's just that. Okay, the problem with black women and why black women will begin to phase out is because we live too much in our masculine, while the masculine principle is still around. Right? So if you're a sovereign woman, you're able to cultivate and to become an alchemist and balance your masculine and feminine energy inside of yourself. healthily. Healthily, if you're a woman alone. If men are around and you're acting as the masculine principle, it's a harm to your physical body. And usually I know that you have heard women who have said that they was in a relationship with a man and he literally made her sick. I'll give you an example in my real life. I was with my daughter's father at the time, so I was about in my early 20s, and I began to have an issue of blood. My period would last for months at a time. I couldn't stop bleeding. And at this time I was young, and I had health insurance because I worked. He did not work. I was the one that was working. He did not work. He was allegedly a hustler, right? So he was supposed to be, whatever, right? But I went to work every day. I got up in the morning time and I went to work and I worked. And in that dynamic, I was acting as a masculine principle, and it began to make me physically ill. And plenty of women will tell you stories about how when they was with a man, they became physically ill. They became, I had an issue of blood. I ended up going to finally finding a nice black woman, gynecologist, who was able to put me back together. But I also ended that relationship. Not put me back together, but I also ended that relationship at the same time while I was getting treated when I was getting medical treatment for that issue. I also ended the relationship, and I became well. And this is not a story that only belongs to me. This is a story for a lot of black women. Black women becoming physically ill when they are in a relationship with a male, because they are being the masculine principle. And if it's a man around, that literally becomes unhealthy. He's acting as the feminine part because he's able to rest in his femininity and do absolutely nothing while you get up every day and you go to work. This is another example of this that I see is with women who maybe have a creative skill, but it never gets up off the ground. Like, let's say she's an artist and she let's just say she's a photographer, and she takes, she's a skilled photographer, but she uses that creative energy to actually make money and pay bills. And it never gets off the ground, because what was supposed to happen, she's with a man, right? She's with a man and he's relaxing and he's chilling. She's using her creative force, her creative energy to work, right? Which women are not supposed to do. If we have a creative skill, for instance, doing some kind of art, even black women who are spiritualists who use their gifts to make money, right? Not saying that we should give our spiritual gifts away for free, right? But it's not, this skill is not supposed to be used to make money to pay bills, especially if you have a man around. Now, if there's no man around, by all means, your spiritual gifts or your creative gifts or your artistic gifts can be used to make money, and they will make money. But if it's a man around, they will never make money. You will never be able to make money to sustain a livelihood as long as there's a man around, as long as the masculine principle is around, because he is supposed to be doing that, right? And when he's not around, and when he's around and he's not doing that, you become physically ill, and you actually end up dying. That's why black women have heart attacks. That's why black women are dying of strokes. That's why a black woman should not have to stress about bills when a man is around. Or any woman should, for that matter. If that's his stress, he should be worried about this physical world. That's what he's here to do. Again, that's why he was created. He was literally created. It's his worry, and he won't die from it. He won't die from it. He was built to deal with that. He was built to deal with the physical stress of life. That's why he was created, and he can physically deal with it. Women, however, cannot. And if she does, she will be pulling from her masculine energy to do so. That masculine energy is here to save you. That masculine energy that is within women, it is here to save you if the masculine principle is not around. It is not supposed to be used and supposed to be outwardly shown unless men are not around. That is why women who are alone, they can work. And women that are alone, they may have a 9 to 5, and then they may be able to use their creative skill to be able to make money as well for their personal home alone, right? When it's no male present. If there's a male present, you will never be able to make money from your craft. Let's just call it, whether it be art, whether it be whether it be tarot reading, regardless of what it is, from your craft as a woman, you will never be able to make money as long as there's men around. As long as there's men around, you will never be able to really cultivate that skill and be able to make money off of it until you're alone. And if you are using that skill, that craft that you have, you will begin to become physical. If you are using it and there's a man around and the man is able to relax and you pay all the bills by your skill, let's say you're a writer and you're paying all of the bills by your skill and he's able to relax, you will die. You will die. You will become physically ill and die. So that's why when I'm over here and I'm talking about divesting or dying, that's what I mean. Not to mention if you're in Blackistan and you're just, you just can become a victim in every way and die literally. But over here we're dealing with the esoterics of what's going on. So over here, when I'm telling you that a black woman, she must divest and die, what I mean is that you will become physically ill in Blackistan because you're acting in your masculine with men around, and you will become physically ill and die. It happened to my mother. My mother, she died at 49 years old. My mother lived in her masculine. When my mother was married to my father, there were times in their relationship where he was the breadwinner and she was able to relax. At that time, my mother, she began to grow in her art. She began to grow in her craft at that time. When she was able to relax, she began to grow in her craft. And as she did, she began to make money in that. And then he wanted to take the back seat because she was making money. This is happening with, what's this woman name everyone is talking about? This very religious woman, very religious vegan woman. Y'all, what's her name? Tabitha. She's now about to act in her masculine. She's gonna let her husband, even though she may have been the breadwinner, right? Even though she may have been a breadwinner, because that money that she makes from her craft, right? Her craft is acting. Her craft is whatever it is that she is doing. I don't know. I see her vegan videos, but I know that she's an actress, and that's an art. That's an art. That's not a physical work. That's not a physical work that women have to do. So as long as she's able to do that, and he was still able to be in his masculine by working every day, because that's what men are here to do. I don't get why black women don't want men to work. Like, that's something I don't get. Like, I really don't understand why black women don't like to see men working. It boggles my mind. Now, he's about to relax. He's about to relax while she becomes the breadwinner. Now she's just making money from her craft and able to do what she want with it. No, now this craft that she has, she's about to start paying bills with, and I guarantee you, she's gonna become physically ill again. She's gonna become physically ill. She's going to become sick, and she may even die from it. Because he's still supposed to work. Men are not supposed to be relaxing while women work. Because now, what was her craft, which was her creative skill that was fun and that was joyous, now it becomes work, right? So, I read tarot. When I read tarot, most of the time I read it for fun. I don't read tarot to make money. I read tarot for black women, for my friends who want to message me and they want me to do a reading for them. I will do a reading for them for free. If they want to send me money for it, they can. But I don't charge to read tarot at this point, because right now it's just my craft. It's what brings me joy. It's not meant to make me money. It's not meant to sustain my household. It's not meant to sustain my household right now for me. If I wanted to create, I'm a single woman alone, I'm a sovereign woman. If I wanted to cultivate that skill to make me money, however, it could, because there's no man around. It's no man around me who is supposed to be doing that, right? I'm a single woman. I'm a sovereign woman. So for me, it's no man around. But now for her, for Tabitha, and I hope I'm saying her name right. I think her name is Tabitha Brown, right? So for her, she's about to, now what used to be just something, right? Because her husband was paying the bills. So at least the bills were taken care of. Now, if they wanted to have some fun in their life, then she could, if she wanted to. I don't. But if she wanted to use her skill to create, to do that, then that would have been different. But now her skill is going to be used to fund the household, and that's going to be a whole nother thing, right? Because it's a man around. He was supposed to be doing that, and now he's not. It's going to make her physically ill, like it did B. Smith. Remember that? Remember what happened with B. Smith? Remember she ended up having Alzheimer's, and then eventually dying as a young woman. As a young woman for us. Give me a minute. I'm gonna see when she died, how old she was when she died, because I want to be correct on this. Sorry, y'all. I'm just Google searching it. Okay, well, actually, she wasn't a very young woman, but she was 70 years old. But I'm sure she could have lived a lot longer, right? Had she not always been working in her masculine energy while a man was around. Um, Black women who do this, they become physically ill and they ultimately die. That is why it is essential for black women to divest, or they will end up dead. Um, I hope that I covered everything. I hope I got everything. If not, you can ask me questions in the comments. You can send me emails at oceanofdaughters@gmail.com if you want to talk about this more. I could go on a little bit longer, but I got to run out. And this was just on my heart. This was just on my heart, because I know that we talk about divest or die, and I wanted to bring an esoteric explanation to why black women can either divest or we will be dying.